broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round.
Hey guys, okay, so welcome back. This is part 2 of our episode 3, and we will be covering my story as I talk to you all about my experience at the hospital. So I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are able to take away some key things from our series. Bye!
But let's talk about how your lovely VA experience, because that was very interesting. Mind you, I had to drop her off, so it was like really sketchy, because they thought she was an alien, had like a, I don't even know, like you was a zombie, like nobody wanted to help her. Like it was like, nah, you get this, because that's not me at all. I don't want that.
I went to the VA a couple times. So I go to the VA hospital. And so the first time, I didn't want to go at all. But because my symptoms were getting worse and my breathing was getting worse, we decided that it would be best that I do go to see what was going on.
Big facts.
So we went, but then we didn't know if like Natasha could go inside. We still didn't know like what was going on. So she dropped me off, and I went inside first, and they were like, nah, nobody else can come with you. So she waited in the car, and I went in. I told them what was going on, my symptoms, all this stuff. I went in, and they put me in this room. Now, mind you, the VA at that point, it was a couple people there. Well, not a couple people. It was a lot of patients in the ER rooms.
Yeah, because I was in the parking lot. That shit was kind of...
Yeah, so I was able to get into a room, and they put me in like a special room, and there was a big sign on the thing that they put up. It was a red sign. They said, do not enter this room unless you talk to the nurse's station.
COVID.
And so I changed to the gown and everything, and they set me up on an EKG so they can monitor my oxygen levels and stuff, and they put the blood pressure thing on me, and they set me with an IV, and all this stuff. And they said they wanted to do a chest x-ray to see, because of my breathing was so short, I had shortness of breath, they wanted to see like how the oxygen was getting into my lungs. So when I didn't even go down to the x-ray. The x-ray lady came to me. And when I say that she looked like she was nervous to come in, she had on all this gear. And I could see her through the door while she was preparing to come in. And she brought the machine inside. She had all this stuff on her face, all this stuff on her.
Was she the same one that put the bracelet on you?
Nah. No, this is a different one. She was just an x-ray tech.
Oh, no, so it was a different person. So they had different people helping you. Okay.
So she came in, she did the x-ray, and then she left. And then they came in, they did the IV, so they tested like my white blood cells and stuff to see like how my blood was getting to my lungs and all of that good stuff. And then they monitored me for like a couple hours just to see what was going on. Now, this maybe like 2-3 hours later, they were just like, well, we're going to give you some antibiotics. We're going to give you some Tylenol and some stuff for your cough, and we're just going to let you go home, because they had so many people there. They were just saying that we were just going to let you go home and you just quarantine. So at this point, they still weren't going. So I was like, so you're not going to test me? And they were like, no, we're saving the test kits for people who are at a higher risk, people who, they're breathing, they need to be on a ventilator type of thing. So I ended up staying there a little longer, and during this time, the doctors did changeover. So when the new doctor came in to come in, he was like, no, like, I'm doing a test because your breathing sounds really, really bad, and you seem like you're in bad shape. So they did a test, and we'll do another video on like how the test went, because that thing was vicious. But they did the test, and then they sent me on my way. I got my prescriptions filled, and then I went home. That was the first time. The other time I went to the VA hospital, that was that Monday that I found out I had it. And that was interesting because the doctor called. He told me that, I was positive, and he wanted to monitor me because my breathing at this point was still bad. And he said that he wanted me to go in and just get monitored and stuff. So I went in, and at that point, when I went in the second time, that's when everyone really started acting crazy, because at this point they already know that my test results was back, so I was positive. So that's when the lady who puts on the bracelet, I watched her and the other lady argue with each other through the glass at who was going to talk to me, because they was not trying. Once they knew I was positive, they was not trying to mess with me at all. So finally,
she got the Rona for real.
Like, they were literally like pointing, like, nah, like, you can take her. Like, none of them wanted to come out, and I'm just sitting there like, damn, bro, like, you really feel like you got the plague. Which I guess essentially because they wear all that protective gear and they try to protect themselves from COVID. And if you actually have COVID, then it's like, damn, like, we trying to protect ourselves from people like you.
Nah, they trying to protect from you, like, not people like you. So
anyway, so I ended up going in. At this point, look, they didn't even sit me down and do vitals like they did the first time, like at the little intake part. Nah, they came and got me, and it was like they surrounded me like in a circle type of thing, and like I walked to another room, and it was so many people. As I was walking to the room, I felt so bad because there were so many like older people there, and they were like on ventilators, like fighting for their lives. And I felt badly because my breathing was bad, but I was able to control it. Like, I didn't need to be on a ventilator, but there were so many people you could see. And the fact that you can't have anyone in the ER with you, these people are there by themselves. So this was another time Natasha waited in the car, and I was there. No, you're never going home.
I waited in the car for like 2 hours right now.
So I ended up going there. They monitored me, and then they ended up sending me home. But when I went there and they monitored me when they knew that I had COVID, the way that they interacted with me then was completely different. Like, there was a sign on the door that said, "Don't come in my room unless you go to the nursing station." But even when the nurse came in, it was weird when they were doing my vitals and stuff. They was not trying to mess with me like at all. It was very like weird. And then when the doctor came in, the doctor stood behind the curtain and was peeking like this, talking to me, and was like, "Oh, okay, we're going to let you go home, just continue to quarantine. There's really not much we could do for you. Just watch your symptoms." And I was just like, dang, like, you're talking to me behind the curtain. And she was just like, "Yeah, but you're going to be fine, blah, blah, blah." And I was just like, it really makes you feel like bad. Like, man, like, you can't even come and talk to me. But then at the same time, on the other side, you have to respect it because they have to protect themselves. And if they put themselves more at risk to get it, they won't be able to do their job and help people.
And they got kids, family,
right,
at home, so.
Exactly. So I could respect it, but it kind of makes you feel bad. Like, dang, like, you feel like you got the plague,
Facts.
So anyway, so then I left. They monitored me. I ended up leaving, and they shut my room down. Like, that room, like, as soon as I left, they shut the room down because they had to sanitize everything because I had it. And I let them know, like, everything, like, I had touched the TV, and I had let them know everything I touched, and the lady was like, "Oh, no, don't worry about it because this whole room is being sanitized as soon as you leave." So.
It's crazy.
But yeah, so that was my ER experience. The VA, I mean, they really took care of me. They did give me my antibiotics, and they were able to monitor me and all that good stuff. And I still talk to them daily to monitor my symptoms, and they make sure that I'm good. But my experience was different than Natasha's because I wasn't in and out in 35 minutes or 20 minutes. I was there for hours. So that was like way different. I think if I had the option, I would have chosen to go to urgent care because it's faster and you can get in and out. But at the same time, if I went with urgent care, I may not have gotten tested.
I feel like that's everywhere though. Everybody they're downplaying people as in like their 20s, 30s, like us, like. Yeah,
they are because that's the thing. Because I was like, if the second doctor if I wasn't there during changeover and the second doctor wouldn't have come in, I wouldn't have gotten tested at all. They had already wrote my prescriptions out,
right.
And I was just still on the monitors. They still had me plugged up to the EKG and the IV and everything, so I hadn't left. So when they did changeover and the other doctor came in, he was like, "Nah, we're giving her a test." And even still, the nurse was like, "She doesn't have, she doesn't meet all the symptoms." And he was like, "Nah, do you hear her breathing? Like, we're giving it to her." So then they did. And I'm glad that they did because but here's the thing. They didn't test you, but we didn't know you had it because one, I was positive. And then you had all the symptoms. So I would have probably been in the same boat, like, "Oh, yeah, you have it." But it's important. I feel like it's important for you to get tested so that you could know whether or not you have it or not. Because one, it counts like for the number, so you can you have a more accurate number. But then also, so it can put you at ease. So okay, if I have it, then I need to do these steps to get better. But if I don't have it, then then what do I have, and then how do I get better from that?
And not only that, but like, I work. So
right.
if I do have it and I'm symptomatic and I'm going around these other people, these drivers, my manager and stuff, like, I'm just gonna pass it along,
and then they can pass it along to their family. That's why it's so important to be safe. But yeah, those were our experiences with the ER in urgent care. So again, if you guys have it, make sure you continue to persevere, push through.
Absolutely.
If you don't have it, continue to follow the protocols and the proper precautions, social distancing, so that you don't get it, because you don't want this. I'm telling you, you don't want it.
No smoke, please.
You don't want it, bro.
I don't.
So yeah, I don't think that it can't happen to you, because that's what we thought, and it happened to us.
Yes, absolutely.
So just continue to be safe out there, continue to social distance, and we'll all make it through to the other side of this pandemic thing.
Stay home.
Yeah, stay home. All right, yeah, anything else?
Until next time, again.
Until next time, guys. Bye.